there is actually an exercise that people can do to ground themselves, and that's actually by imagining that they are putting their feet on the floor flat, and imagine that there's roots growing down from underneath their feet. Welcome back to Raw. My next guest is a passionate mental wellness advocate whose journey through anxiety led her to explore a wide range of healing modalities, from traditional therapy and mindfulness to energy work, somatic practices, and beyond. After struggling with generalised anxiety for years, she has committed to understanding her inner world and finding what truly supports her healing. Not just symptom relief, but deep, lasting transformation. Through this lived experience, she has gained valuable insight into the complexity of mental health and the power of personalised healing. Jo now shares her story to help others feel less alone, to spark curiosity about what's possible in healing, and to remind anyone that's listening that there's no one-size-fits-all path, just the courage to begin. Welcome, Jo. I'm so excited to share your story, and thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. So tell us, what sparked your anxiety journey? How did that first show up in you, and how old were you?
So I think the time that I remember significantly it appearing was during COVID. And I'd gone through a lot of change. I'd finished working as cabin crew, which I'd done for a long time, and that was kind of my identity. My partner had moved in. I'd lost a baby, and there was a lot of traumatic things that had happened. And all of a sudden, I just didn't feel myself. I physically felt that I was in a cloud. Nothing was coherent, and my cognition wasn't right. I remember being in a supermarket and a friend coming to speak to me, and I just couldn't get my words out. Things that you'd normally do every day that you took for granted.
So how did you realise that it was anxiety and nothing serious?
I don't think I realised it was anxiety for a long while. I just thought that there was something seriously wrong with me. And I panicked a little bit. I did go to see my GP about it, but I didn't describe it as anxiety, because I don't think, if you've not really had any knowledge or any experience of family or friends with anxiety, it's hard to know that that's what you've got. So I think there were just a lot of things going on for me that I just felt weren't right. I did go to the GP, as I say, and they tried to give me antidepressants, and this happened a couple of times, and because the medication didn't suit. And I thought, is it anxiety? The doctor was saying that I had anxiety, but nothing was quite working. So then I thought, okay, I'm going to have to kind of take this myself, and that's where I began my healing journey, just looking and exploring what was out there to meet what I was struggling with.
Okay, and what was out there? So what did you find when you went on this exploration journey?
So obviously it was during COVID, so there wasn't a lot available, and it generally was about me sitting there on my laptop Googling different things that I felt I was going through and what could help. I remember at the time a friend had sent me a link on WhatsApp to a 21-day meditation program.
Okay.
It was Deepak Chopra.
Okay.
And so I started that. At the time, I would have tried anything because I just felt so not myself, and I was frightened. And I just wanted to get back to feeling okay. So that's where I started with the meditation.
Okay. And how did that help you?
So I didn't know at the time of starting it. I just read that, meditation can really help. It helps you focus your mind. But I didn't expect it to really have such an impact as it did. And at the end of doing it, I mean, I think maybe a week in, I thought, oh, actually,
You feel better.
I feel calmer. And it was only a once a day meditation.
Can you explain a little bit about that meditation and what it involved? So what did you have to do? Because a lot of people, I think, here don't even know don't even know what meditation is.
Yeah.
Or, what they have to do when they're listening to meditation.
Yeah, so it was all on the WhatsApp link. And so it's just an audio recording. And they were maybe 10 minutes long. They weren't huge, recordings, just 10 minutes. And it was all focusing on manifestation and positivity, abundance.
So you just basically listen to it?
Yeah. And so basically I got myself comfortable on the bed, lied down. That was my preference. You can sit up, but I laid down. And it was just focusing your mind on the audio and you breathe in. And it was all, led by Deepak Chopra. So he would guide you through it. And I think that if anything at the time I didn't realise what it was doing for me, but it was taking my mind away from my preoccupation with what was going on for me.
So it was taking your head away from your thought process.
Yeah.
And your thoughts were going round and round and round in circles. And you thought that there was something terrible the matter with you.
Yeah.
And this just essentially distracted you.
It did, yeah, and it gave me a focus on something else, and also at the end of it there was a small task to do as well. So it kept my focus on that positivity, on creating something for myself rather than going back into my negative thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where it began.
And do you still do meditation now?
Yeah, I do. Not as often as I should sometimes, but and I still do really, really feel the benefit. And I massively advise anybody, even if you can just do it for 5 minutes a day, I promise you will notice the difference.
Yeah. You also mentioned breathing.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's a natural occurrence, but so many of us breathe from here when we're panicking or worried or scared about something because our fight, flight, freeze system doesn't allow us to go past that through the vagus nerve.
Yep.
So tell me about the breathing exercises that you did to help you.
Yeah, so I've just following things on YouTube, just guided things and things that you've helped me with as well. So techniques like box breathing or
the vagus nerve reset.
Yeah. Just counting your breaths and taking control of your breath and really focusing in on that.
Do you know why that works?
The vagus nerve? No, not exactly.
Okay, so the vagus nerve is linked to the amygdala, which is part of the fight, flight, freeze response. And that links into your central nervous system, which is located behind your belly button. So when you take these big, deep breaths in, you are sending a signal to that part of the brain through that nerve to say you're safe and you're not in any danger.
Yeah.
And when we program our brains to believe we're unsafe or in danger because of anxiety or thoughts that go round and round in circles, we're programming it to believe that we're not safe.
Yeah.
So by taking control of the breathing, that is affecting how we take control of our mind.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. So yeah, the breathing and the meditation. It's funny, actually, I did in college the other week, I did a breathing exercise for my classmates, and they were they were blown away by its impact. Yeah. And
it's exceptionally powerful, and people don't realise how powerful it actually is.
Yeah. Just
taking control of your own breath.
Yeah.
And when your breath alters, that means that you're in distress.
Yeah.
So it should be very flow. It should flow through you as opposed to be panicked breath. Because when it's a panic breath, the brain automatically assumes that you're in danger or you're not safe. So it's all about the programming and the subconscious programming and how we program that. within us.
Yeah.
So tell us what else you've been doing to help your anxiety, because I know that you were prescribed antidepressants and slowly but surely you've weaned yourself off them.
Yeah, it took me a while to get the right medication. I did still feel like I needed something. And yeah, I've gradually come off them now. I felt like I was in the right place to come away. I think it's important to remember that with anxiety, a lot of the time there is something maybe chemically going on, and I think that I'd been in an anxious situation for so long. And I know that my serotonin levels were maybe lacking, and so for a short time I felt like I needed a boost to boost that and to get that system moving again. But yeah, supporting myself in other ways, I felt ready to kind of ease myself off them. So yeah.
So for anyone out there suffering with anxiety,
yeah,
what would you tell them to initially do?
I think the thing is, where people kind of go wrong is they attach the label of anxiety, and then it's kind of the mind goes to, okay, what can I get prescribed for that? Because that's the way that we work in modern society. I think what I would say is, rather than do that, take a look at yourself and look at what's going on for you in terms of, not with the label of anxiety, but generally what's going on. So for example, with me, there was such a lot of change that had happened. I felt like my identity was not as it was. I didn't feel aligned with my identity, and that was affecting me. So it's all about going back to yourself and, okay, fill your own cup up. What do you feel you need? Listen to your body. If you need sleep. If you need good food, just take yourself inwards. And, if you feel like you need to, just have a day under a snuggy blanket or something like that. Your body is trying to tell you what you need. And I'm not saying it as, I've taken medication. That might be what you need. But I'd say just maybe don't focus so much on the anxiety, because in focusing on it, you're attracting more to you, and it works you up even more, and the anxiety gets bigger. So just take some time out for yourself, self-care.
So, and that can include everything from exercise to sleep to good food to meeting a friend, connection,
support,
feeling like you belong. I always think that it's really important to feel like you belong. And maybe when you left the airline, you felt a little bit lost.
Yeah, definitely, because that was my identity, and where, my connections, my people that I loved, the job that I loved. And I loved the travelling. So all of those things were what made me at the time. And then to come away from that during COVID and to have such a lot of my life taken away and such a lot of change. As I say, my partner moved into my house as well to set up a business. So my home, my sanctuary was now a business as well. So it was just such a lot of
new things.
Yeah, newness. And like you say, I feel like grounding is a big thing. So you feel stable. How can you make yourself feel stable and connected?
So let's talk a little bit about grounding then.
Yeah.
So what do you do to ground yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I like to do like the meditation or the breathing, or just being at home in my
in a safe
room.
Space.
Yeah, ground. That is my safe space, like my little sanctuary. And so just being there for me is around my snuggy blanket.
Yeah.
And that does ground me.
Yeah.
Also maybe exercise, because that's just such a big part of my life. And so in going and being productive, feeling the endorphins, being around like-minded people, that grounds me, because that is part of my identity as well.
Okay, so it's about helping people to find who they are without having labels. Mm-hmm. So they don't need labelling, oh, I'm such a person with anxiety.
Yeah.
I'm such a person with depression. I'm such a person that suffers with mental health.
Yeah.
They don't need to label themselves as that, because that's not who they are.
No, I mean, anxiety is, it's showing you that your body is able to function. It's trying to warn you that there's something not quite right, or it's perceiving that something's not quite right. So when you search inside and think, okay, well, what is it then that doesn't feel quite right? Then it will show you.
Did you get physical symptoms?
Yeah, when I first started with anxiety, I can't remember what was when it first triggered, but I felt like I'd been consumed by a big cloud. So I was in fight, flight, freeze, and my body was, I think, frozen, and I couldn't even hear. My cognition was really slow. My hearing was really wuggy. I remember going to the gym every day, because I still tried to go to the gym every day when we could in COVID. I mean, on the treadmill and thinking, oh God, I just don't feel,
Did you get any heart palpitations? Because I know that's common. Or stomach problems?
Heart palpitations came intermittently. Usually when I would be facing a social interaction, because when I was just in my bubble, I still felt safe. But when somebody else was there, it kind of was like a mirror, I suppose, of this is what's going on for you. Whereas when I was on my own, I could,
mask it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Other physical symptoms.
Stomach problems?
Yeah, I did feel sickly quite a lot. I do suffer from colitis as well, and I know I hold all my emotion in my tummy. I definitely hold all my emotion in my tummy. So that does get affected when my anxiety comes up. Yeah.
So it's about knowing yourself.
Yeah.
Understanding yourself.
Yeah.
And not always looking externally for the answers.
Yeah, the answers are within you. Yeah.
Inside to have a look.
And what the thing is, there's so many people at the minute being diagnosed with anxiety, but what it is for one person, it's very different.
Yeah. There isn't a one-size-fits-all package. And it is about understanding the person who is suffering and helping them through that loss, change, identity crisis, or whatever that is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. To fill the cup back up. That's what I always say.
So, grounding yourself, you said that you go to the gym and you do, you go to your safe space.
Yeah.
There is actually an exercise that people can do to ground themselves, and that's actually by imagining that they are putting their feet on the floor flat, and imagine that there's roots growing down from underneath their feet.
Yeah.
And pretending that they are then bringing these roots all the way up through their shins, through their thighs, their calves, their pelvic region, up into their gut, all the way through into their stomach and heart and chest and face, and all the way down their arms.
Yeah.
They become the tree then.
Yeah.
And the anxiety is just part of the branch.
Yeah.
That can flow if you're not overthinking it.
Yeah.
It can flow through you.
Mm-hmm.
Along with any other physical symptoms. Often if we just let it flow and breathe through it, we can actually help to disperse it a little bit in the grounded space that we sit.
Yeah, and it also works actually physically if you go outside, go on the ground and...
Exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that if you stand on the grass with bare feet, that brings the energy up through into your body.
Yeah.
Or they have these weighted blankets now.
Yeah, I've got one.
How does that help you?
Yeah, it does. And again, until you've tried it, you think, oh gosh, how is that going to help me? But it does. I think it's because it's like being given a big hug. And so you're permanently in that state of being hugged.
But if we do this anyway and give ourselves a hug and just tend to rub your hands down your arms, that also brings you back to yourself. Mm-hmm. Brings that comfort back to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
remembering that every single person is worthy and nobody should be suffering unnecessarily. But there's so many people out there that don't know what to do or how to do it.
And that's the thing, and I think that's kind of my mission now, in a way, to educate people on different things, that there are different tools, different modalities of talking therapies, holistic therapies, and what's going to work for you. What, you know, how can we fill your cup back up to get you where you want to be, back to the version of yourself that you want to be, and you align with. But
we also change and grow as we go through this. So it is about flowing through it as opposed to being stuck underneath it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much again, Jo, for coming to spend this morning with me talking about anxiety.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.
And for those people that are suffering, there is available help. They can look on my website at karmatherapist.co.uk or on my Instagram site at whatthebrains, BRAINZ. I also have a TikTok called Raw, Reels and Wisdom, where a lot of this advice is free and available for everybody to view. Would you like to add anything?
No, just thank you, and I just hope that people do take advantage of the support that you offer, because you've helped me such a lot, and I just think it's just such a shame that there's so many people out there struggling, and they don't have the tools or feel they have the tools to deal with it. So yeah, just a bit of support for everybody, and take advantage of the tools.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.